because Minecraft is obviously the first game you will think of when you think high graphic quality, GPU intensive, and all that sweet stuff. And there are a few tricks that you may want to know before you actually try it, or before you buy the game if you don't have it yet, or even a graphics card. For now, let's just follow the guide and do as they want us to do. Now we got the zone number 1, global illumination. As you can see, the sun is right above us. Light comes from here, and well, there aren't really sources of light. It's the light hitting there that reflects somewhere else. Like for example, if I block the hole here, here, here and here, we still have light due to what's coming from that direction. Here you see, light comes from this side and it looks different here, with this making some shadows. It does also take a few seconds for the light to disappear. Here, it stays for a small second and then it's gone. Here, one of the tricks I'm kinda disappointed in, and we'll come back to that later, is that this is diamond block, this is diamond block again. This is a block of emerald, for example. Well, this is a block of lapis lazuli, and this is a block of redstone. If you played Minecraft before, you will know that those aren't exactly the blocks of redstone you want. And this up there is a hole I made last time I tried this. So you see, this one doesn't emit light, but those, well, they work like glowstone. They emit their own light. So now let's change the time. Right now it was the time set at noon. Now let's set it to 100. And let's open up here and here. As you can see now, the sun is much lower on the horizon. Which does make a few differences. For example, here, you see, it is no longer the vertical rays and we get less light, as the light has to first hit the sides there and then bounce down. Here it doesn't make any difference because those blocks are producing their own lights. Also, while we are here, this is a red nether brick. And anyone, even without having played Minecraft, knows that this doesn't look like a red nether brick. So first of all, if you wanted to play Minecraft with mirrors, just know that they aren't really in the game. It's just a modified brick, because Minecraft Windows 10 doesn't allow much modification of items. And we'll come back to that later. Now we have here the different lights. As you can see, the same block to produce the light and different lighting effects. This one, the ground is much clearer here. Let's see, what was it? F3? F5? No. F11? You cannot see the light level, which normally if I could pull up the menu you would be able to see, but well, your eyes can tell you. This is lighter than this, and it's lighter than the ground here. Because here, there is nothing under this. For example, if we put this here, you see the light change. So we have those light sources. Here are... That's some glass. Yeah, that was some glass. Gray stained glass. You can look outside. So let's continue. We have the different lights with also different colors, different styles to let more or less light pass through them. Here, well, there is simply only a limitation under it. Did they use the dragon egg for the lamp? Here you see that you can also have two of those. And here, because we're on the side of that building, the light can shine right through and land here. Now here is the construction zone. But first, let's change the time, and you see, the light from there is gone. The sun is on the other side now. Wait. There we go. The sun is on the other side now. And here we can create the various lamps we saw before. Which I kind of tried here, I guess. Actually, let's try something different. Do I still have the red nether brick? Let's try the maximum luminosity, but in a small place. Let's make it 4 high, I guess. Ah, it's so confusing to select the block when it's all mirrored around you. At least you see the outline of the block when you select it. But right now it's slightly confusing to use. Okay, now we got this. So those are very, very clean mirrors here. And now let's finish our thing. There we go. Wait, one more block here. Good. Now we have our darkened room, and as you can see, this single block doesn't make the ground as clear as I'd want it to be. Now, if we use one glowstone here, it's much lighter, but at the same time, it's not reflecting as I planned. I really thought that it would bounce on the mirror and back here. Well, instead we have the thing we see right here. Now, if we go into settings, advanced video, we aren't supposed to do that. Yep, render distance, all that stuff. But we still only see so few of them. Simulation distance, advanced video. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times, 7 bounces. And there is no room behind that, it's just a well-made illusion. So it's some very nice mirrors, but at the same time I still have complaints about that. And the main complaint about that, I'm going to say it now, is that this block here, you see? You may not have it when you play the actual game, because it takes the place of the red nether block. try and imagine if every time you go to a nether fortress, you know what it looks like, nether bricks everywhere. Imagine if your nether fortress is made of mirrors instead. That would be some bad stuff, right? A wall fortress made of mirrors only. But now we are in the second place. Got some fishes. And as you can see, the reflection kinda works in a weird way at the same time. There is nothing behind those glass, there is nothing there, it's all in here. And if we move right there, well, those glass panes just reflect. So I have to admit that they do some very nice stuff. And, well, let's see how water does. As you can see, the water can still be it's smooth and not smooth at the same time. We have a few fish escaping too. And yeah, the flowing water doesn't seem to have as much RTX stuff enabled into it. Also, I just killed a few fishes to demonstrate that. Yep, you're dead. There we go, 3 fish for me. So you got here the same thing, light blue stained glass. Which, well, it's light blue. On the hotbar it looks like it's invisible. This one is light blue too. Wait, it is? Light blue. Yet it looks like it's a different color. Because of this part here. Which, well, blue and red makes the color purple. So now, if we go back here to see what it looks like without any color on top. Come on, well, let's make that hole bigger. We see that it looks a lot more like the one with glowstone only. Then there is the green one we saw before, and it is nice that it's only on top, yet it colors green or purple the whole thing. Here there is no light on top, and here on top there are a few colors too. Now on to the next place. Few colors underwater. Here and there. And finally the last aquarium. Back to lobby and onto the next room. Alright, entrance is the same as before. Let's use the recommended time, get inside. Light. The light source is mostly coming from the aquarium. And, well, those I guess too. Wait, are those even on? Oh wait, that was the redstone, yeah. And nothing in the chest. The wrong block. As you can see, the lighting inside the houses you can build with RTX can be much different. It will... Well, the problem is that it will depend on the time of the day, unless you have a strong light source somewhere. But you could have a building like this, with only natural light. Which looks lovely. We have this place here, where the light will come from in front of us. And I think it had a teleport pad that I missed there. Yeah, here is the pad. And this isn't mirrored. They just put two similar rooms here. Yellow concrete, black concrete, different blocks. This is a clay block, which I guess they also modified. And those are all... Oh, those are just glass blocks, and as you can see, it reflects the light, and not the rest, and I stepped again on that small thing. Let's go into this room once again. So the light comes from there, yet you cannot... Well, you can see the sun, but it's different. And if we set time to noon... No more lights coming from here. I'm going to break those plates if it happens again. Now here we have another nice little room with lights. If we set the time to what they want, 2000, comes here on the side, works nicely. Cozy little room with lights on top. Here is a similar thing where you can have the light come from the top here, which is nice. Alright, here is the mirror room, where I did put some mirrors that I'm going to remove here. There, and if we decide to close the room, why does it still look... Oh wait, there are two entrances to that room. And... there we go. So that's kinda magic, you know, to have so many reflections. Looks like it's endless. In all directions. At the same time, if you pay attention, you see that, well, it has limited number of bounces, and it forms sort of a circle around us at the limit. You see that in this direction, it isn't as... it's about the same distance as there, instead of forming a square. But let's get out of here and to this room here, where we have the lava as a source and also the ores, which produce light. Which I would like to see in the game, would be much easier to find them. Let's get rid of all of that for the next part. Game examples. Now this is going to be fun. Reset the puzzle. There we go. So the room isn't that big. It already stops here. We're also in the mode where we cannot break anything. And here, everywhere has some water, so we can just fall safely. We also do have plenty of food. So this game here is quite easy. Well, I thought they could have done better by adding some mirrors here and there to try and trick us into jumping in the wrong spot. But let's do it. So you jump here, and see? There's a block up there. Now we step on it. Missing block is removed. And there is another spot with light. If I step on the wrong plate, like here, it resets the puzzle. So, it's not really a puzzle, it's just follow the light thing. But they show us that the light can come from different places to light exactly what they want. The sun was there, now the sun is coming from this position to come here. Then the sun is from that position. And I forgot I could not fly without creative mode. So now the sun is from there. Oh, cannot jump straight here. There, the hole disappeared. And now the hole must be right there, as you can see. Look, it's there and it's not there anymore. And I should really watch where I'm walking. Here is the exit. So as you can see, this is nice, but it's not the kind of puzzle you can have normally without the other stuff. It would take a lot of work to move the sun around. And now... well, this puzzle is interesting, not too hard either. I guess the coding is just that if you activate the right stuff, it works. Reset puzzle, back to lobby. Let's start by resetting the puzzle. So as you can see, there are different targets. I step here. It made a hole there, which pushes the light here. I step on this one, also makes light come from here. And the color is set. So I am not entirely sure which light goes where, or is this the first? Oh, okay, so that's how it works. In the middle. And now we have to create the green color using what's there. So for that we have to remember what creates green. So let's try the first one here. We have yellow. Then if we try the middle one, it's too blue. I'm not sure if it's... yeah, it's too blue. That's yellow again. That's blue. So we can have one on this side and... actually, does it only ever... okay, it only ever uses one. So you can just keep going until you find the green one. There we go. Blue and green. Wait. Blue and yellow. Blue and yellow. And I pushed the wrong thing. Anyway, let's go back there. Speedrun. Well, actually, I bet the speedrunner here would do something like go backwards, double jump, triple jump, spam jump. I mean, this does make you faster. Unless you fall in the water. In which case, you aren't as fast. So as you can see here, it's a fun little demonstration of the capacity it has. And let's just be careful about that, because this is showing the capacity, not the final product. It's like telling a car can lift 10,000 pounds and then, well, only giving you a 10 kilogram thing to lift. Now red, so we can move here, here, and here. This one goes through only the red color. Is this red? Wait. Well, let's just confirm. Done, and to the next color. Looks right to me. And confirm. Back to the lobby. So that's for the demonstration part. Now, what I'm going to do is collect a few things. Oh, actually, this is glass. Okay. So this is terracotta, emerald. Well. Oh, come on. You know what? Here we go. Freedom! Good. So now we're free to look at the various items and how they changed it, I guess. Oh, so the menu here is rather nice, yeah. Cooked food, all that stuff, chest plates. What I'm looking for was the... well, I guess monster eggs. I don't know if they have it here. Anyway. So it was red nether brick, right? Red... oh, not the stained glass. Come on, can I find it? Nether brick. Well, let's go back inside and find one of those blocks to copy. Here. Red nether brick. Oh, yeah, it was right there in front of me. I thought it would be a white block. Now, let's... Actually, no, I don't have to do this. Let's find the room with all the mirrors in it. Let's see, it was in room examples. There, we go there with our red nether brick, which is obviously a brick, not a mirror. So you can indeed have chickens that are going to reflect all around until they stop existing. Look at that. They exist, they don't exist. They exist, they don't. Exist, stop existing. Exist, stop existing. Exist, stop existing. It exists, it doesn't. So, yeah, I guess that's one of the fun things I forgot to consider, is that it doesn't keep everything loaded at all times. Kinda fun to see how all those eggs float around. Anyway. If any of you got too much time to waste, you can try counting the chickens. How many chickens do you count? They exist, they don't exist. They exist. Only two of them exist. Oh wait, actually... Look at that, all those chickens, they don't exist anymore, and... Suddenly, all the chickens exist. Well, at least 5 of them exist. Suddenly, it all exists. Doesn't exist. Exist. Doesn't exist. Exist. Does not. Does. Does not. Does. Does not exist. Exists. Does not. So, yeah, as good as this might be, if you're thinking about using RTX in PvP stuff, if there is someone behind you, you won't see it coming. If there is someone in front of you, you may see them coming a few times, yeah. So this, well, I gotta admit, I'm kinda disappointed in the mirrors because of that. You cannot see what's behind you. Which would be the whole point of a mirror, to see what's behind you, not what's in front of you. But I guess that's only because they are entities. I mean, if I put a red brick block here, it's gonna show up anyway. Still a shame it doesn't do it for entities. Yeah, come to me, all of you. Come to me. Very good, very good. Oh, actually... So lava does show up everywhere, I guess. Yeah, we can see it expand, even though it's behind us, so... No, you're not safe there. Push. Good, very good. So for example, lava can do that, and now let's try removing the light. So yeah, the light from the floor is enough, it seems. And this is a block of iron, okay. Let's play some more with the mirror room after we modify it to my taste. As you can see, we still have the delay between when the light is removed and when it stops making light, as we saw with the torch before. Which I am most likely going to play with too. There. Still a few lines to go through. Okay, here we go. So, while Minecraft RTX is a good idea, it would be just so much better if it was in the Java version. Because, well, Java just allows you to add blocks, you know, it may sound like a detail, but for mods, not being able to add stuff and only being able to edit stuff does limit you very, very much. Unless you like using guns that are just fishing hooks, bows and other things like that, you like those mods. It's disappointing because... well, I kinda got used to Minecraft being able to be modded to pretty much any level, and... well, with the Windows 10 edition, it's suddenly a much lower level. Also, we can still see around quite nicely, even with so little light here. Now there is no more light at all. Let's finish off raw. Good, so now let's place only one block. And just look at the reaction time. Now I remove it, put it back. So it lights up much faster than the light disappears. Put it, remove it. So that does make some light. Now here, that's a red light. It works too. Goes up there, sides, on all the mirrors too. So this works nicely. Let's try with more entities. Like, do we have any zombie eggs? We do. Got lost here for a minute. Let's actually keep some light. It was the glowstone, I think. Glowstone. Here we go. Let's put the lights back on here. Well, you actually have to place one here first, then the others. Otherwise, you just open it and close the trapdoor, or move down because you press shift. So we got the lights back. As you can see, that leaves some dark corners, while at the same time, the corner is clear, half clear, and dark. The first reflection makes it dark, and then the second one makes it look different. So the system isn't quite perfect yet. I mean, look at that. It's darker in the main room than in the reflections. Oh, I cannot spawn zombies, huh? Can I? No, it doesn't want to let me spawn zombies. Good, so now we looked at the blocks here. So we have mirrors, we have special glowstone and all that sweet stuff. The water looks fancy from inside. But what if we look at the other maps, which also have RTX enabled? Also, keep in mind that none of this is the final version. Now, let's go to Imagination Island. Actually, let's quit Imagination Island and get a new one. Oh, let's go here. Let's go to the Crystal Palace. Create this world. And unlock all settings. Just want to have this enabled, and from there I can do all I want. There we go. Create. Alright, you start in a nice little room with lights. Oh, maybe a boat. Yeah, that looks like a boat. Now, to explore faster, I think it was one. Yeah, there we go. So, well, we can make nice stuff like this, where the RTX effect is not really seen yet. You can see a bit of it when you go underwater, I guess. The sky looks a bit different. You can see some kind of circle above you. There is the reflection in the water, which is cool. Here, the charcoal blocks, they don't look exactly the same as before. They are not glowy ores. But let's just go here, for example. Let's take a bit of time to look at what things look like through the water. As you can see, it's not the usual water that doesn't modify what's behind it. Now here, the first thing, you see that the glowstone here is actual glowstone. And if we open here to look at the red nether brick, what will you see? If I find it? Oh, come on. Red nether brick. Yeah, you see a red nether brick. Which means that in this world there will be no mirrors, there will be no blue lights. It's pretty much using the default blocks here. Compared to the other one, which had the custom blocks modified to showcase the stuff. So this is a lot more like what your experience would look like. Less fancy blocks, but everything still looks much different. You have that light, you have the shadows of the trees. You can see that through the holes in the leaves you have some spots of lights here and there. You see the shadows, which are well made. They also put a lot of effort to create these worlds, which is great, but well, I mean, after they showed me the mirrors, I would have loved to have some more mirrors to myself, to play with. More pieces inside the buildings. With lights. Well, this might just look like the usual Minecraft with the normal lights. Diffusing maybe. Yeah, it does seem to diffuse further than the normal stuff. So lights may have more range here. But at the same time, it lacks that kind of feeling, you know, of the other version, where it was really glorious RTX in all its glory. Well, here you can see that the floor looks a lot more bluish, thanks to those stained glasses there. Which is a nice touch. But what we're going to see now is what it all looks like underground. And did they really use soul sand? Yeah, they did. What kind of block is that? Lectern. Okay, didn't know about that. Well, let's get out of that building and go investigate some more. Light source behind here, light sources there. And at the same time, Minecraft rules are still the same. As you can see, it doesn't have enough light to prevent the skeletons from spawning. Which, well, will add quite a few problems. Depending on when you build, you have to make sure that it has the good lighting level at all time of the day. All time of the day. Which adds a bit of trouble. So I believe we found a cave around here. Something underground. I want to light it up. Well, never mind. So the light looks nice here. Here you have the lava, changing the color of what's around it. Here, sweeter lights, water. Wow. This looks nice. It's glowstone behind it. Color is fully changed with all those stained glasses. They also have the slightly glowing ore, which doesn't glow anymore when you have it in your hand. Let's actually, before I forget about it. Yeah, so... Oh, come on. Minecraft Java Edition had this in mods for a long time. It's if you hold a torch in your hand, that the tip is clearly lit because it's yellow. It produces light in your hand. Here, it doesn't seem like they wanted to consider that. Here we have more light coming from here, so in normal Minecraft, those parts here would be already quite dark, but here not. It's still has quite a bit of light. You can still look around. But from what we saw before, the game code. Oh, cool. The game code will still consider that enemies can spawn there. Which, if you go mining, is not something you want. Unless you go mining with a lot of weapons, like I do. So, yeah, I mean, well, I guess the place isn't quite perfect. Still some floaty stuff. Typical Minecraft. Guess whoever made this focused on the castle, which most likely took a lot of work. And, well, this is the unmodified areas. That's pretty much just the normal Minecraft. Here is a village, for example, with a hole near it. Here, if we get close to the water, we see some very, very low reflections. Here, the well-defined shadows from the other mountains. So it is kinda magical, but at the same time well, I mean, if you look at the price of RTX cards, maybe not worth the price. Also, if you look at the fact that, and well, that's the biggest problem for me, is that it's mostly just Minecraft Windows 10 that has this for now, so yeah, well, it's a mod technically, but it's not worth it in my opinion because the other Minecraft has so many other options that you can use. For example, here, if I go to settings, there are only so many things that I can modify. While if I just install Optifine, I can change other things too. Let's take a simple example that really annoys me, because I have it right in front of me. It's that if I try to play it in full screen on my ZBook Pro Duo, the problem I will be faced with is that I will only get 15 frames per second. I don't know if you see the problem. Well, because it's only a 2060 RTX with a 4K screen. Also, wait, is the video choppy? Oh, it doesn't look good on the stream preview. But you can see the FPS counter on top, which is pretty much right. So if it bugs, it's, well, on the uploading part, I guess. Which is a shame, because it really looks smooth and nice here. So, well, TLDR, don't put your expectations too high. Those special blocks like the mirrors might not appear in the game. It's still Windows 10, which means that adding blocks is complicated for modders, so don't expect too much from the mod side either. And finally, it's RTX only, so kinda defeats the point of Windows 10 version being cross-platform to play with all your friends. If in the end you can only, well, play with other RTX cards owner. Also, Am I seeing the night sky under me? Is it the reflection in the water, or... Oh, okay. It's just because I'm outside of the render range, I guess. Fancy. Oh, look at that. Oh, come back here. Annoying little thing. Shh. Away. Oops. Be gone. God. So, well, I guess that's all for now. That's another hour-long video, but you can see that they put a lot of effort into it. They are still working on it. I believe the End and Nether are still not on yet. For quite a few reasons, because first of all, the light system they have is quite different. He's dead. Yeah, very dead. So, the light system and the End and Nether, for a quick reminder, it doesn't have a sun. It's just everything has the same light level, pretty much. And that's what they would have to work with. Which completely defeats the point of RTX because, well, the light is all different. Anyway, all for now. Bye. Potato, potato, potato.